not easy to start a new smartphone brand in our country. The expectations that the educated Indian customers will have from this brand will actually, scare away quite a few businesses. Having said that, the new brand iQOO has taken this up as a challenge. Yes, it's called iQOO and not iQOO. Their first smartphone in the country is the new iQOO 3. Well, the iQOO 3 is actually a specs monster, at least on paper. But does that translate to real world performance? Well, I'm Ershad from Mr. Phone, and that's what I'm going to find out in the unboxing and hands-on review of the brand new iQOO 3. Oh, by the way, hit that red subscribe button really hard right now if you haven't done it already. There is a lot, actually a flood of smartphone content coming your way in the next couple of weeks and in the near future as well. So if you want to get notified of these videos immediately, of course, subscribe and hit that bell icon as well, right next to it. Alright, so now we have the box of the iQOO 3 in front of us, and obviously it says 5G in bold out here. Let me just show you around the box before I start unboxing it first. One of the most important things to note is that this is clearly a testing phone, and it says made in India out here, which is very interesting. So this is going to be made in India, and of course you don't have details of the price. The price has been cut out. Plus you can see the SAR value, which is around 1.19 and head SAR value, and the body SAR value is 0.59. So SAR value is pretty good, but apart from that, no specs are mentioned on the box. But of course you guys already know the specs, so I'm going to talk about it in the due course of the unboxing as well. So let's quickly get down to it and see what you get inside the box. So now we've taken the wrap off first, and looks like the made in India sign was a part of the wrap, and this is a sticker. This is a 5G sticker that is extra on this. So let's just see what else is there. Alright, so on the box you can see that there is also a seal, so let me just quickly remove that out for you guys, and that's off. So let's take the lid off the box and see what you get inside the box first. Okay, that was smart. I think there was a seal out there which I did not remove. So there you go. This is the iQOO 3 right in front of us. So this is the Tornado Black variant of the phone. I would have liked the orange variant ideally, but let me just quickly unbox that and see how it looks. So there you go, guys. That's what it looks like. Technically it's got sort of like a purple hue going on, and that's the camera array for you guys, and this is the front. Let me just quickly switch it on and keep that aside. So there you go, it's on already. Let me set that aside for you. So now that you've taken the phone out of the box, you will see a sheathing underneath it, and on top of that there is a poem which says iQuest on and on, which is, by the way, what iQOO is abbreviated to. So let me keep that aside and see what else is there apart from that. So they've packed in the Type-C cable and the SIM card removal tool, plus a nice soft silicone case. Now this is the Type-C cable, and it looks pretty damn interesting. It's got this capsule at the ends which sort of has a Type-C cable, and of course a Type-A port as well, which says Super 2.0 for some for some reason. So this is a 55 watt fast charging brick and cable, but the cable itself looks very damn interesting. So let me keep that aside for you guys, and you can see that in the due course of the unboxing. Now this is the massive adapter. It's got a matte finish actually. It feels really interesting, and it's got 11 volt and 5 ampere rating, which means that it comes up to 55 watts in total. So there you go, that is the brick. This is the very interesting cable that you get inside the box of the phone. And finally there's something else in the box, and I'm guessing that should be a pair of earphones. So that's really cool. It's got a very interesting shape to it, and it's got an iQOO branding as well. I hope you guys can see that right now. So yeah, so there you can see that it's got the iQOO branding and in-ear earphones, plus you've got extra tips inside, I'm presuming, and it's a 3.5mm jack, guys, which means the phone comes with a headphone jack. So yeah, so once again, this, my friends, is the iQOO 3, the new iQOO 3, and what you get inside the box, of course, you get the phone, you get this really interesting Type-C cable which has a pill-shaped end point, which looks very interesting, and the silicone case, the 3.5mm earphones, and of course the 55 watt charger as well. Now let me just put the phone inside the case and show you how it looks quickly before we move on to our first impressions of the phone. Here's the thing about the iQOO 3. This phone was made to impress the performance nerds and gamers out there. This is the first Snapdragon 865 phone that I've had the privilege of using, and to top it off, it comes with 12 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM and 256 GB of UFS 3.1 storage. What does this all mean? Well, just take a look at the benchmark numbers on your screen, and the Antutu score is around 17% more than the Snapdragon 855 Plus processor preceding this. Plus, the storage benchmark numbers and the Geekbench scores look excellent too. That's not it. There is a special monster mode for enhanced performance. Plus, you have the special game assistant mode, using which you can configure the 4D vibration feature and the pressure sensitive triggers. Yup, you heard that right. The iQOO 3 has pressure sensitive triggers with haptic feedback and whatnot for gaming. Trust me, it just elevates your gaming performance in first-person shooters such as PUBG and Call of Duty. Moreover, iQOO also has a proper thermal cooling system inside to keep the temperatures low. Anyway, stay tuned for a full performance review which should come up in a couple of days. Also inside is a 4440 mAh battery that is supported ably by a 55 watt fast charger. And it charged the phone from 0 to 50% in around 17 minutes, which is actually very close to the 15-minute number claimed by iQOO itself, but the 15-minute number is claimed for when it's screen off, and this is when it's screen on. And it managed to charge the phone from 0 to 100 with screen on in 52 minutes in total. I've also managed to use the phone and lock the battery life for one whole day. I took the phone out of charge at around 9 AM, and at the end of the day around 1 AM, which is generally when I go to sleep, the phone still had a 20% charge left. That's actually great. I will test the battery performance again in detail in my full review. The iQOO 3's design concentrates on the functionality more than the flair, and it makes total sense for the target audience. I'll tell you why. This phone is 217 grams in weight, but the weight distribution is absolutely incredible. It is curved on the rear slightly, and when used in landscape mode, the iQOO 3 is a treat. So yeah, gamers are going to love it. And not to forget, the pill-shaped capsule that is available as the endpoint of the bundle charging cable sits perpendicular to the port. Another tiny design element that makes gaming a treat once again because it doesn't poke into your fingers. Also, the frosted matte finish silicone case fits snugly, and it works well even with pressure-sensitive buttons. Okay, let me not digress and get back to the design of the phone. The back is made entirely of glass with Corning Gorilla Glass 6 protection. The side railing is made of metal with a very clean matte finish. Now, while it is available in 3 color variants, the Volcano orange one is the most gorgeous. The Tornado black looks good too, and the orange power button is a nice touch. You also get a dedicated button for Google Assistant on the left side. The iQOO 3 also has a 3.5mm headphone jack. Also, you get a mono speaker setup with a dedicated hi-fi DAC. And you know what? The AK43778 DAC inside the iQOO 3 is also used in FiO's ultra-portable M5 audio player. You have to switch on the hi-fi feature from the sound setting that works with specific apps, and this is incredible news for audiophiles. I tried a few songs on Spotify, and the difference in dynamics of the sound signature is immediately apparent in hi-fi mode. By the way, even the mono speaker goes for clarity and dynamics over loudness. I really like that approach. Although a stereo speaker would have been a good addition. Also, the in-display fingerprint scanner is one of the fastest ones out there, and it can unlock the phone in 0.29 seconds. And the face scanner is so fast that it unlocks even before you look at it. The iQOO 3 has a 6.44-inch Super AMOLED panel with the tiniest punch hole camera I have seen till date. The tiny punch hole camera becomes a part of your peripheral vision, and you will definitely not notice it after first 10 minutes. The display resolution tops out at FHD+, and you get HDR10+ support as well. By the way, there's shot sensation UP glass on top of this display for scratch protection, in case you were wondering. But the one thing that I feel is conspicuously absent is a high refresh rate display. The iQOO 360Hz display feels limiting compared to 90Hz and 120Hz panels we've had access to lately. That said, the iQOO 3 does have a crazy good 180Hz touch response rate, and it shows in the daily usage. Touching the display and scrolling through lines of text in an article or playing fast-paced first-person shooter games feels extremely smooth. Now, I'm sure you guys must have been eagerly waiting to know about the software on the iQOO 3. Well, it has a new skin called iQOO UI based on Android 10. This is an upgraded version of FunTouch, which has a swanky new minimalistic and flat look, includes a dedicated app drawer, adds a new quick settings panel in the notification shade by replacing the control center, and much more. I'm still exploring it in detail, so hit the bell icon to get notified when I drop my full review of the phone. With all the focus on performance, it is easy to forget the cameras, but there are 4 on the rear. A 48 megapixel Sony IMX582 sensor, a 13 megapixel telephoto camera with 2x optical zoom and 20x digital zoom, a 13 megapixel wide angle camera, and a 2MP bokeh camera. All of these 4 cameras are placed on a module which slightly juts out from the rear. On the front, you get a single 16MP selfie shooter. From my preliminary assessment, I can tell that the HDR is working great in selfies and the colors look natural, from the rear camera. But I'm still playing around with the cameras and I need some more time with the phone to assess it extensively. Okay, so moving on from the cameras, I really need to talk about the fact that the iQOO 3 has support for 5G. Obviously, there's no 5G networks in India currently, so I couldn't test it out. It is undoubtedly still a good marketing pitch for iQOO, and if you do take it abroad, you can still use 5G. That's all I'm going to talk about 5G in this video, because I want to talk in detail more about it in a future video, so stay tuned for that. So the iQOO 3 is turning out to be a tremendously powerful and an extremely power efficient phone as well. Having said that, I still have a long way to go with the testing process, so stay tuned for my full review. But before that, I still want to say that the iQOO 3 is looking very impressive. And I'm sure that a lot of the entrenched players could find this a troublesome phone. Now, having said that, I'm going back to using the phone while you guys decide whether you want to buy it or not. At the time of shooting this video, I don't have a handle on the price, but I know for a fact that the iQOO 3 is going to be priced at under 45k for both the 4G and the 5G variants. Yes, there is going to be a 4G variant as well, and that one's going to come with 8 gigs of RAM and 128GB of storage and Snapdragon 865. So I think that that is a good price range for both the variants, primarily because it packs in all the latest high-end, cutting-edge Android smartphone technology that you can think of, which includes Snapdragon 865, LPDDR5 RAM, UFS 3.1 storage, and much, much more. So what do you guys think about the iQOO 3? Do let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, this is Ershad from Mr. Phone signing off. Goodbye and Godspeed, my friends.